When I first
Mhm.
started talking, I said something that some people might say is can be contradictory, but to me it makes sense. So I just want to expand on this. I want to ask y'all this too. I talked about
Mhm.
how sometimes the season has passed and you just gotta let that go, but don't give up chasing your dreams too at the same time. So
Right.
it's a real thin line between that, and I'm gonna give you two examples. Um, when I first got to college, right? Like when I was younger, you in high school, you thinking about, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to college, hit these college parties up. You wanna like that's the dream because you just imagine that. At least I did, right? But I started
Mhm.
going to college late, you know. So I was in my mid 20s, and I went to like my first college party, you know. And when I got there, I was like, yeah, I shouldn't be here. I felt old, you know. I was just like, this season has
Mhm.
passed because I was seeing like I was in my mid 20s. I was seeing like, to me they was kids, 18, 19 year old kids
Right.
there,
Like teeny
and they
boppers.
looked, yeah, and some of them looked like they were still in high school, and I just felt
Mhm.
weird. I was like, yeah, I don't think I should be here. I was like, and I had a funny feeling because I always wanted to go. I always wanted to do that,
Mhm.
and I just had to accept. I was like, okay, I just missed my season on that. That time is gone. I'm just going to let that go. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop going out, but that particular scene, I just gotta let that go. And another example is that now is like, when we started Always for Black, even though I had a job, and we doing other businesses too, by the way. But when I had this job, I was like, man, I really want to do business because it's something that I always thought about, but I'm kind of in a career, what a lot of people think is a good career. I'm making a decent amount of money, but I really want to do this. And it's easy to say I just missed my season on that, but I was like, nah, I'm going to chase my dream and really do what I want to do. I'm not going to be reckless. I'm not going to be reckless about it. I'm going to plot out, and maybe I won't. Maybe I can't just quit my job right away or nothing like that. But I'm going to make gradual steps to pursue what I want to do. So those are my two examples. I want to ask y'all, what do you think the line is between just missing your time and chasing your dreams? So I'll start off with you, Miss Baba.
That is a real good question. And before I go into it, I just wanted to say that once you get to a certain age, well, at least for me, it was more so. It's not like I stopped living life, but I realized that as I've gotten older, I started to take more calculated risks. So I wasn't as much
Mm-hmm.
of a thrill seeker as I was younger. When I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, if I fail, who cares? But now it's just like, okay, I can't fail that much, but I can afford to fail a little bit, like 10%, but I can't fail 80%, But so yeah, that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. But as it pertains to your question, that's a really, really, really good question. I think first and foremost, you just have to be realistic with um with your dreams and your ambitions, you know, because it is very true that seasons can pass. Like if you're still trying to be homecoming king or queen and you're in your 30s, like you can give that up. Like that's not going to
Right.
happen. Sorry to burst anybody's bubble out there. That's not going to happen. And another thing, and I'm sorry to say this, and I may get a lot of flack, but I'm so tired of seeing it. If you like 50 something still trying to be the next rapper, hang the microphone up. Like seriously, everyone wants to be the next rapper. Everybody wants to be the next greatest basketball player. And not to say that it cannot be done, because every once in a blue, these things do happen. But at the end of the day, you just have to be more realistic with yourself. I don't ever want to say, how they say never, and I do believe that's true. But if it's something that you're 100% passionate about, and it's not deterring you from, let me put it this way. If you don't have to rely on others your whole entire life to get to that point, then by all means continue to try to chase your dreams. Because I know for certain things, like I said, like if you're trying to be a rapper and you're like 50, like, not to say that it could never happen, but the chances are real slim. So, you just have to be realistic with yourself. I don't ever feel like I should ever be the one to tell someone to stop chasing their dream. I don't think anyone has the power to do that. You just have to know for yourself, like, okay, do I really think that this is going to happen? And if so, then by all means continue to, pour your heart and soul into it, blood, sweat, and tears into it. But, yeah, it is really a thin line because there's certain things that's just never going to happen for you. Certain things you do only get one shot. But I think those are more so things that happen, I guess, up until you get to the age of 18. Like if it's like high school activities, like things pertaining to that, I would say, okay, yeah, your season's passed. But anything else, pretty much, I can't think of anything else that someone can say, okay, this is what I want to do, but I can't because I'm too old. Because, shit, I've seen so many people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, going back to college to get degrees, and, things like that. I would definitely recommend people to continuously try to chase those dreams and what have you. It doesn't, age at that point doesn't matter because you're still just trying to maintain something for yourself. But, yeah, that's the only thing I can really think that I would say, okay, your season has passed. Like if you're still trying to be like how you have in high school, like, if you're trying to like relive your childhood, then yeah, your season has passed pretty much. I'll just wrap it up like that.
Same question to you, Mikael.
I think that I'm not an avid reader of the Bible, but it is a principle in there that I do sort of live by, and it's a principle that goes like this: you judge the tree by the fruit that it bears. So I believe that you can easily define what works for you based on the results it's bringing back. So I think at any age or stage, if you feel a desire for something, then you should try it. But that fruit that it bears will determine what your time should be spent on that. You have some people who kind of drive themselves into something so much that it literally kills them, and they've wasted so much time driving towards something that they missed what could have been more beneficial for them. We do it in everything. We do it in relationships, We do it in relationships. You have some people that just stay with people way too long, and the fruit that it's bringing back is a lot of bad fruit, a lot of bad things happening, but they're just continuously staying with this individual. And somewhere at some point, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you just made a decision to stay with that person too long. It's not what was meant to be. It's not what the cosmos or the stars or the universe or God bestowed upon you. Your decision to stay with that is why you stayed there, and so you have to deal with the consequences of your decisions, and so that's right, wrong, or indifferent. So you have to know when something is working for you and when something is not, and I think that is when you determine whether your time has passed or if you should continue to chase your dreams, And it's difficult because I know that sometimes when you're chasing a dream, a lot of times it's not going to work at first. A lot of times it's not going to turn over a result. But I guess that's when you have to go in your own feelings to realize, and then you have to pay attention to the counsel that's around you to realize what you should continue to pursue and what you should continue to push towards, rather like, look, if you were a person that does music, okay, if ain't nobody around you told you good, dog, let it go. Like, for real, let it go, family. Because if you got talent, somebody around you gonna tell you good. That's beyond. You could lose a ton of talent shows. You could fail when you go to American Idol. You could fail at so many levels, but somebody should be there to tell you good. If ain't nobody telling you good, then at that point, that's when you have to say, okay, is this a dream or unrealistic goal I'm setting upon for myself, you know? And so the fruit could be how you make someone the fruit does not necessarily have to be the financial gain you get from doing it. Sometimes the fruit could just simply be the people who you make happy with what you do, the people you help and aid with what you do. How you make yourself feel, you know? I mean, some people are into something and they won't let it go, and they depressed and sad and everything in it and just won't let it go, you know? And I think that's when you're dealing with the cusp of being into something too long, you know? But if it's something that always makes you happy, like there's some people who, you know, they have careers, you know, they drive buses for 20 years, or, you know, they work at something, but they still go home and paint or something. If that's what makes you happy, you go home and you paint. Do what makes you happy, even if it doesn't even bring any financial benefits to you. But at the same time, you have to be able to measure what brings you the happiness versus what you're trying to earn a living and a career in. You know, and in this society, this is not some spook society. You have to look at what works and what doesn't. You know, you can't go and try to sell, I don't know, outdated things in a time where people have kind of moved on from it. You know, so that's when you have to be into reality as well. You can't live in a fantasy land, and I think that's what a lot of people in the world do, because again, social media, Hollywood, movies, has a lot of people living in fantasy land, you know, and people become unrealistic with the times in which they reside in, you know. So I think it's a fine line, you know, but I think if you're honest with yourself, you can find that fine line and define it properly.
Word. Yeah. I feel that. We got about 10 minutes left, so Ms. Baaba, you got any closing thoughts you want to say?
Yes, I did want to say something real quick. I just wanted to say that, Mikael, you are still 100% Brit on everything that you just stated. It's crazy, and I just don't want anyone to take their failures as I don't want them to say, okay, I failed, so that's a sign this is not meant to be, because that's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is, you know, if it's something that you're aiming for, go ahead and do so. You may not blow the first 100 times, you know, the first 100 times that you try to do something, but I think it's that 10,000-hour rule also. Just make sure that if you have a craft, you know, you really put work into that craft and, you know, try to see the fruits of your labor. But if you see that no one else is giving you positive feedback, then, yeah, maybe it's time to hang it up. That's what we're trying to say. And then lastly, I did want to mention that another thing that I noticed is, you know, as I got into my early adulthood, I'll call it, a major thing for me was naps. I don't care what nobody say, but naps have literally changed. They went from being like a punishment to a reward. I would love myself a nap every day if I could. Oh, my goodness. Naps are the greatest. And I'll just leave it at that.
Gotta get some rest.
Yes.
All right. Mikael, you got any closing comments?
Two key principles: transparency, be brutally honest with yourself, you know, and discernment. Define situations truthfully, you know, and I think that helps and aids in the decisions you choose to make and the goals you're trying to accomplish. Is it something attainable, or are you in la la land somewhere? You know,
right, trying to be sold.
Just remember this. You know, they got the Powerball, and everybody believe God finna bless them with that money. So that's when you have to start to become more realistic with your goals.
Right.
And I was just saying that earlier. Just be honest with yourself. Like, you have to have a real talk with your soul. And I thought it was y'all saying that you have to be realistic about situations. But at the same time, I know, like, the personality I have, I don't give a fuck if I'm the only person that likes something. Like, if I enjoy it, damn it, I'm going to do it. I could care less if somebody else like it. Well, I wouldn't say that. Like, I would like for other people to like it, but if they don't, like, you just don't. Like, I just do what makes me happy because, in my opinion, like, at least how I am, if I don't, I feel like I'm ethering myself. And I'm gonna have to pull my soul out of the ether. I don't want my soul to burn slow. So I do what I need to do to keep myself happy. So there's a lot of stuff I do where people might scratch their head. I'm like, yeah, you just don't get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. That's you don't have to really. I'm not really even asking you to. So. Like, if you, so, like, let's say music, for example. If you make music and everybody tell you your shit is trash, you can still keep making music, but, you might need another source of income. You know what I'm saying? You might need to go, Biggie said UPS is hiring. They might still be hiring. Go get your job at UPS and still do your music on the side, Because if that would make you happy, damn it, do it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right. But no yes men. I can't stand a yes man.
Nah, me neither. I can't do it either. But don't forget, go to our website, Always for Black. Remember, the all is 2 L's. So alwaysforblack.com. Go to Always for Black Radio. Go to Always for Black Facebook group. Subscribe to our YouTube page, and we doing it. We bringing a lot of different type of shows to y'all. I think I'm not just saying this because a part owner Always So Black, but I think we bring a lot of diversity to the table with different topics. We can have fun with it. We can get serious. We bring it for all angles, and make sure you tune into our Friday show because we definitely going to get into that. Muhammad Ali discussion. Brother Mikael has already let his clip go. Already, we had to stop him right there.
I didn't let nothing go yet.
Where
I was gonna keep
we might have to talk about
for the Oprah show. We did the Oprah show, so we all right.
Word.
Next week,
you get a car. You get a car.
Right.
Word. But maybe one day we could do it like that, But hey, you never know, right?